Imagine stepping into a time machine, whizzing back over 100,000 years, to a time when the Earth was in the grip of an ice age. The world is vast, wild, and untamed. Towering glaciers loom over forests, open plains stretch as far as the eye can see, and massive beasts like woolly mammoths and saber-toothed cats roam the land. You hear the sharp crack of flint striking rock and smell the faint smoke of a fire in the distance. You're in the world of the Neanderthals, one of our closest relatives in the human family tree. But who were they? What did they look like? How did they live, and why, after surviving for hundreds of thousands of years, did they disappear from the Earth? The first thing you notice as you approach the fire is the small group of people huddled around it. They look somewhat like modern humans, shorter, stockier, with broad shoulders and muscular arms. But there's something distinctly different. Their faces are larger, with pronounced brow ridges, wide noses, and forward-projecting jaws. You're looking at a family of Neanderthals. Neanderthals, or Homo neanderthalensis, appeared on the scene more than 400,000 years ago. They evolved in Europe and Asia, where they adapted to the harsh, cold conditions of the Ice Age. Their bodies were built for survival in this challenging environment, with thick bones and powerful muscles to withstand the cold and the physical demands of their daily lives. But they weren't just brutish cavemen, as they were once portrayed. Neanderthals were skilled hunters, innovative toolmakers, and, as you'll soon discover, capable of complex thought and social behavior. As you crouch down by the fire, you notice one of the Neanderthals working on a piece of stone. With swift, practiced motions, he shapes it into a sharp, flint tool. These tools are part of the Mousterian tool culture, a collection of sophisticated implements Neanderthals developed to hunt and process animals, make clothing, and build shelters. You watch as they skillfully use these tools to scrape hides from animals they've hunted. Mammoths, bison, and even smaller animals like deer and rabbits provided them with food, skins for clothing, and bones for tools. Every part of the animal was used. Waste was not an option in this harsh environment. Neanderthal hunters worked together to bring down large game. Their close-knit groups relied on cooperation and strategic thinking. They would study the movements of herds, set up ambushes, and work as a team to corner and kill their prey. Their spears, heavy and sharp, were often thrust into their targets in close combat, evidence of their bravery and skill. The fire crackles as the wind howls outside the cave, a shelter for the Neanderthals. You feel the cold creeping in, even though the fire offers some warmth. The landscape outside is unforgiving, vast open tundra, with patches of forest providing some cover from the biting winds. This is the world the Neanderthals knew best, and they were masters of surviving in it. Their homes were often caves or temporary shelters made from wood, stone, and animal bones, designed to withstand the elements. Inside these shelters, families huddled together, sharing the warmth and the food they had worked so hard to obtain. Despite the harsh conditions, Neanderthals were more than just survivors. They had a deep connection with their environment, and their culture reflects this. You notice that some of the cave walls are adorned with handprints and simple drawings, rudimentary forms of art. These markings, made by the Neanderthals, show that they were capable of abstract thought and perhaps even symbolic expression. As you observe their interactions, you begin to notice something remarkable. The Neanderthals communicate with one another, not just through grunts or gestures, but with a form of language. Though scientists still debate the complexity of Neanderthal speech, it's believed that they had a capacity for language similar to modern humans. This allowed them to cooperate in hunting, teach their young, and pass down knowledge through generations. But their cognitive abilities went even deeper. Neanderthals cared for their sick and elderly, tending to their wounds and ensuring that even those who could no longer hunt had food and shelter. This level of compassion and social structure indicates a complex mind capable of empathy and long-term planning. As you explore the cave, you come across another astonishing find, a burial site. The body of a Neanderthal is laid to rest in a shallow grave, surrounded by flowers, tools, and animal bones. This burial practice offers a glimpse into their spiritual world. Though we can't know for sure, it's possible that Neanderthals believed in an afterlife, or had some form of ritual to honor their dead. Further evidence of their abstract thinking comes from caves in Spain, where paintings dated to over 60,000 years ago have been found. These paintings of hand stencils and geometric designs were created long before modern humans arrived in Europe, suggesting that Neanderthals were the artists. This discovery challenges the long-held view that only Homo sapiens were capable of creating symbolic art. As time goes on, a new species appears on the scene: Homo sapiens, the ancestors of modern humans. They migrated out of Africa and entered Neanderthal territories around 50,000 years ago. You can almost feel the tension as these two species, so similar yet so different, come into contact. At first, there may have been competition for resources, land, food, and shelter. But over time, evidence suggests that Neanderthals and Homo sapiens didn't just compete, they also interbred. Genetic studies have revealed that many people today, particularly those of non-African descent, carry Neanderthal DNA. This interbreeding means that Neanderthals didn't simply vanish, they live on in us. Despite their resilience, the Neanderthals disappeared around 40,000 years ago. But why? As you step out of the cave and look across the tundra, the clues begin to emerge. The climate was changing, becoming even more unstable. Neanderthals had survived previous ice ages, but this time it was different. The competition with Homo sapiens, coupled with a shifting environment and possibly even diseases, may have led to their decline. Some researchers believe that Neanderthals were gradually absorbed into the Homo sapiens population through interbreeding. Others suggest that their small, scattered groups simply couldn't compete with the larger, more adaptive populations of modern humans. As you prepare to leave this ancient world behind, you realize that the story of the Neanderthals is far from over. Their legacy lives on, not only in our DNA, but in the way we think about what it means to be human. Neanderthals were not just a primitive, extinct species. They were complex, intelligent beings who lived, loved, and thrived in one of the harshest environments imaginable. In the end, they weren't so different from us. And in their story, we find a deeper understanding of our own.